Asuras. They said, let us conquer the Asuras by taking the help of God, by taking the help of the truth. And the way by which you can take the help from the truth is Udgita Upasana. Udgita is, in Karma Kanda, it is a japa. This is Vedanta, in this it is Upasana. Where there is japa, there need not be Upasana, but where there is Upasana, there is always japa. In Karma Kanda, there is Udgita Japa. Udgita Japa means Omkara Japa ji. Udgita means Omkara. The essence of Udgita is, the entire Samaveda, what is sung by a Udgatri is also Udgita, but designated by Omkara. So Omkara is Udgita. And when you recite Omkara, Udgita, in Karma Kanda, you will have Devata Darshanam. Devata Sakshatkara, Devata Darshanam, which is not moksha, but Devata Darshanam, something. But in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Udgita is Upasana, meaning Pranopasana. You meditate on the Mukhya Prana along with the recitation of Omkara. Why? Because meditation upon the Mukhya Prana can give you strength to overcome the evil in your own self. How? Because meditation upon the Mukhya Prana means meditating that it is not one of the faculties, it is the personal secretary of Bhagavan. Personal secretary means is directly in touch with God. Mukhya Prana is directly rooted in the truth. Mukhya Prana is rooted in the truth, not presupposing something, whereas the senses manifest presupposing the Mukhya Prana. Haji. It is directly in touch with the truth, whereas the sense organs are in touch with the truth through Mukhya Prana. You can only have your eyes and ears, you can function. The sense organs can function only when you are alive, when you are breathing. Therefore, the Mukhya Prana, when you meditate upon the Mukhya Prana as rooted in the truth, definitely your whole vision about the truth changes. Your whole vision of the truth, that is, if my Mukhya Prana is rooted in the truth, then I am rooted in the truth. If I am rooted in the truth, then that very meditation upon the Mukhya Prana is rooted in the truth makes me crave less about the things and makes me think more about the truth. This is what is called, you make the truth the topic, and that is how you take help from the truth in fighting evil. How do you take help from the truth? Make the truth the topic. Is there any other way of seeking help from the truth? Bataiye. How do you seek help from dharma? You seek help from dharma by showing interest in it, by implementing in it, by making it as one of the interests in your life. Dharma. Dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. Dharma protects those who protect dharma. Protecting dharma means showing interest in it, valuing it. When you value dharma, dharma values you. When you ignore dharma, dharma ignores you. In fact, all that you get in this God's creation is nothing but your own ego. Ego, you know? You don't know ego? E-C-H-O. When you go to the pahad and say, oh, and then it comes back. That is called echo. Echo. Your pleasures are your own echo, your pains are also your own echo. Ji. Aur kya? If you sing, music comes back. If you shout, shout comes back. If you clap, clap comes back. If you love, love comes back. If you hate, it comes back. Therefore, all that man gets is only his own ego. His own ego. In the long term, that is the truth. In the short term, it doesn't look like so. If you take it, if you analyze only 1 year of your life, then it doesn't look like that. If you analyze just one given day, it doesn't look like that. If you analyze only 1 day, then it looks as though you shouted and you get back music. And sometimes you sing and you get back a shout. You start singing and your wife says, "Kaan mat khao." You understand, you know? Ye sab hota hai. But if you analyze long-term life, you analyze Jiva's endless life, you always get your own ego. That's why law of karma is appreciated only when you take into account the previous life. If you take into account only one life, then you can't appreciate law of karma. You'll get confused. Law of karma is true when rebirth is true. Law of karma is true when the past is true and future is true. That life has continuity. If life has no continuity, law of karma is not true, can't be true. A man, just before death, at the age of 90, he tells a lie and dies. He tells such a serious lie. A very, very big, huge, serious lie, and he dies. Now he has no time to go through the result of it. That means there is no law of karma. The law of karma is that which forces you to go through the results of your own karma. That is called law of karma. Now supposing there is no next janma and this man dies, then he can't prove law of karma. Therefore, many people really in their haste don't understand. I say there is something called law of karma in God's creation. In fact, creation functions only through law of karma. That is the constitution of God. God's constitution is, he has got it's amazing thing. He has got a one law constitution. Only one law. That is called, jaise karoge, vaise bharoge. It's only one law. You don't require the second law. And you can't amend it. Therefore, Bhagwan's parliament may no debates. Because you can't make any amendment. Jaise karoge, vaise bharoge, bas. That is why I am going to tell you something very in this connection. Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, a very beautiful point he makes. It must be understood in its sophisticatedness. Saha yajnaha prajaha srishtva purovacha prajapati. Anena prasavishyadvam eshavoskvishta kama. God, when He created first, He created human beings along with the yajna. Yajna means law of karma, meaning prayer. They say yajna means what? If you do it with the right attitude, you get the right result, and that is the only way by which you grow. Doing everything with the best of intentions, doing everything as a prayer to God is the only way by which you grow until you understand the truth. Therefore, Bhagavan says, when He created human beings, He created also that law of karma plus the sense of right and wrong in them. That is called yajna. Sahayajnaha prajaha srishtva purovacha prajapati anena prasavishyatvam. Very beautiful. Grow through this law of karma. Grow materially through the law of karma. Grow spiritually also through law of karma. And then ultimately, the same law of karma also can prepare you for jnana, brahma jnana. Why not? Nitya karma also is within law of karma. Anena prasavishyatvam. Grow through the law of karma. Eshavaha astu ishta kama duk. May this law of karma be looked upon as kamadhenu. Kamadhenu means what? It gives you whatever you want. Baba. May you look upon this great, beautiful law of karma as something that can give you whatever you want. If you want heaven, it can bring you heaven. You work in that direction. Jaise karoge, waise paoge bas. You work for heaven, you will reach heaven. If you want moksha, you will get moksha. It will prepare you for moksha. Therefore, Udgita is an upasana here, and that is, the more you meditate upon your breath as rooted in the truth, the more you get occupied with the thoughts of the truth, and therefore less crave for and therefore Udgita Upasana prepares you to understand the truth. Are you able to follow that? Meditating upon this thought that the breath is directly rooted in the truth in your being will take you back to yourself. The breath is not rooted in the flesh. The breath is not rooted in the flesh. In fact, the perception of the flesh is rooted within the breath. Within the truth presupposing the breath. Mukhya prana is directly rooted in the truth. Life is directly rooted in the truth. Presupposing that life are the faculties, etc. Therefore, in Karma Kanda we have Udgita Japa. In Vedanta we have Udgita Upasana. That's all you pick up. The rest of them are all, doesn't matter. What did I say? In Karma Kanda you have Udgita Japa. And in Vedanta you have Udgita Upasana. Udgita Japa brings you Devata Darshanam, whereas Udgita Upasana helps you to overcome the evil in you, helps you overcome the impulses in oneself. Evil means impulses. Udgita Upasana helps one to overcome the impulses in oneself. Therefore, to this we have seen Padartha Kartru Swarupashrenam cha Jnana Karmabhyam Karma Vakshamanam Mantra Japa Lakshanam Vidhetyamanam Tadetani Japedi Iti Jnanam Tu Idameva Nirupyamanam. Japa means that which is going to be said Upasana is that which is going to be said. What is the japa? Which is going to be said. What is upasana? Which is going to be said. What is the Rupareka of Udgeta japa and what is the Rupareka of Udgeta upasana will be said. Right now you can understand only this much. That the Devatas decided to overcome the Asuras through something called Udgeta. Bas, Udgeta upasana. Bas itna hi samajhna at this point. Devatas decided to overcome the Asuras. That means in my also, if I have so many impurities in me, I have to overcome. I can't overcome the other person because it's not useful for me. You know, when I overcome the other person, संसार के अंदर राज कर सकता हूँ. When I overcome my impurities, I become qualified for moksha. हाँ जी. When you conquer somebody else, राज कर सकते हैं. Means what? You can get something. किसी को कंट्रोल करो फिर राज करो. कंट्रोल मदर-in-law, राज करो. Because there were times when they controlled daughters-in-law and raj kiya. Ab now it is all ulta. Control mother-in-law and raj karo. हाँ जी. In those times, in the older times, just repetition of all that you know, ji. It is better to look at what we know also, so that we may not forget it. Children used to listen to more their parents. Now children listen to their spouses, their mem-saps. Therefore, चलो कोई ना कोई राज तो कर ही रहा है. कोई ना कोई राज तो control can only lead to raj karna. But when you control the impulses in yourself, you don't do raj. You become peaceful. When you become peaceful, there is no need to control anybody. Anyway, right now, says Devata says, let us seek the help of Ishvara and destroy the Asuras. And whenever we use the language of Devatas and Asuras, please, 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 don't think in terms of a group of Devatas and a group of Asuras. Then you will never understand the beauty of this topic. In every individual there are both Devatas and Asuras. They are more of good thinking, wrong thinking. It is the right thoughts that are Devatas, that are wrong thoughts that are called Asuras. You should not just lose sight of this fact. You can't supposing you name yourself a Devata, then you think you don't require reform. Or if you name yourself an Asura, then you say, I can't reform. Headache ho jata hai. That is why, this concluding that I am a Deva or concluding that I am Asura is wrong. But concluding everybody has is a combination of both. Everybody, we are all a combination of both. Yes, ji. We all need to reform. Because you can never exist as a jiva without the need to reform. You can never exist as a jiva without impurity. It's not possible. Even Devatas as individuals require reform, ji. And therefore don't say, I am a good person, I don't need reform. We all need reform, ji. We are ever in need of one reform, the other is information about the truth. We need to reform, we need to reform ourselves and we need to inform ourselves. Mentally we need to reform, and in terms of truth we need to inform ourselves as to what we are. And therefore Devas and Asuras are not two groups of people, they are two lines of thinking. The moment you see this, The entire Vedic Puranic literature looks bristling, beautiful. All our Puranic literature is beautiful because it is only pointing out the forces in every individual, the good forces and the bad forces, the Kauravas and the Pandavas. And the Kauravas are more in number because the impulses are more, the bad thoughts are more. The good thoughts are only handful. Just to say, insignificantly small number means handful. Pancha Pandavas. Pancha Pandavas. Now I have cleared a very important thought that Udgita is a japa in Karmakanda and Upasana in Vedanta. For a Vedanti, Udgita Upasana is important. To begin the pursuit with the thought that the entire breath and mind is rooted in the truth. In which case, truth is not pratyaksha, truth is aparoksha. Truth is not in front, truth is aparoksha means it is intimate to you. And the more you think that your goal is intimate, the less you will be attracted to the objects. And the less you are attracted to the objects, the less impulses manifest anyway. What impulse? If somebody is achieving more of the material pleasures, let them. He is wasting time. You don't feel jealousy. Interpret every wrong deed of everybody as a waste of time. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? That's great, Ji. Interpret every wrong deed of every person in this world as is wasting time. It's wasting time. Beautiful time. As a human being, every minute is most precious because it can give you an opportunity to understand the truth. No ordinary truth. The oceanic being that you are, one can really look at. Every moment gives you that opportunity, and therefore if somebody is using his time, to rob and to nag and to rule and to accumulate and to enjoy and to drink, etc., do you feel jealous of him? Do you feel jealousy for him or do you feel sympathy for him? Do you feel jealousy or sympathy? I feel neither. I feel very happy, let them waste their time. Ji. I will say, very good, very good. If they don't do that, they will be disturbing me. Therefore, let them get occupied. Yes. As long as you don't feel jealous, you are all right. As long as you don't imagine, they are accumulating, they are growing and I am lagging behind. I am left behind. उनका घर देखो पापा, अपना घर देखो, उनके इटालियन मार्बल्स देखो, हमारा देखो, इतने साल से बिजनेस कर रहे हो, क्या लेके आया घर? मैम साहब जी बोलते हैं, और साहब जी बोलते हैं तो मैं तो रमन केंद्र जाके वेदांत सुनता हूं. Please understand, the more you think that your goal is intimate, the truth is intimate, the less you will be attracted to the objects. And the less you are attracted to the objects, the less you have impulses, angers. Value for material wealth whips up impulses, anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, everything. These are all impulses are all whipped up by the value for material wealth. If I have the interest in the intimate truth, then these impulses calm down. They calm down. And along with that, if we understand the destinies, etc., it will become totally calm down. If your son falls in love with some girl whom you don't like, accept it as unka prarabdha hai, let him go through it. Let him go through it. When God could not stop him, how can I stop him? In fact, God only willed it. What is prarabdham? I can't. I can only give a word of advice. But yeah, don't do that, you will be unhappy. But then if he is destined to go through some unhappiness, who can stop it? Don't unnecessarily sit and cry, just forget it. Let him. That is why in a little detachment. Every individual has to go through his cup of happiness and cup of unhappiness. I can't do I can't give a full protection to my children against unhappiness. Even if you have money, you can't give. You can give a free house, but you can't give you can buy a house for your children. You can buy comforts for your children. You can buy gold for your children. You can buy anything for the children, but you can't buy. You can't buy happiness. वो नहीं. इसलिए, therefore, Devata said, let us do Udgita Upasana. Nanu, now Shanka, there is a small little doubt. It's a great bhashyam. I am going to take my own time. I can't go by your time. Purvapaksha asks a question, Nanu, idam abhyaropajah viseshaha adhyaroha japa viseshaha adhyaropa nahi adhyaroha japa visesha aroha adhyaroha japa visesha. Purvapakshi says, sir, why are we interpreting it as upasana? Omkara is meant for japa. It is a particular japa meant to bring the devata before you. Will a purpose say Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, until you see the Lord Shiva in front of you, go on repeating Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. This is called Adhyaroha Japa. It is not for mental purity, Adhyaroha Japa in Karma Kanda. Om Namah Shivaya, O Indraya Namaha, 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 Indraya Namaha. So you go on saying until Indra Devata comes in front of you, then it is called Adhyaro Ajapa, Adhyaro Ajapa, Abhyaro Ajapa, Abhyaro Ajapa, Abhyaro Ajapa, not even Adhyaro. Abhyaroha japa. Abhitaha aroha abhyaroha. Like Ravana went on doing tapasya until he got the darshanam of the Lord Shiva. This is called abhyaroha japa. But it is meant for anyway, see, it's very beautiful thing. Purvapakshi says, sir, generally the Udgita Japa is done for the darshanam of a devata. You are saying that the devatas decided to do the Udgita Japa in order to overcome the asuras. Whereas the Karmakanda says you do the Abhyaroha Japa for darshanam of a devata, not for overcoming inner asuras. Devata darshanam is different from overcoming the inner asuras. What is your explanation? Veda says it is Abhyaroha Japa. You are interpreting it as Upasana to overcome the asuras. Nanu idam Abhyaroha Japa Visesha Arthavadaha. And it is Arthavadaha. It is connected to is sesha, connected to a ritual, a praise. Na jnana nirupana param. It doesn't imply any upasana. Jnana means here upasana. Udgita is always used for japa, not for upasana. These are all points, generally interest the vidwans, the scholars. But you also can develop interest in all these things. If you start following, they become nectar. You suddenly discover, my God, there are certain profundities. Most of the people do japa for Bhagavan ka darshan, whereas devatas wanted to do japa for overcoming inner impurities. Japa for overcoming inner impurities is a part of Vedanta, whereas doing japa for devata darshanam is a part of karma kanda. Do you follow that? That means as a Vedanti, I should do japa for overcoming inner impurities, not for devata darshanam. That's not a part of Vedanta. See, these are all great things. Na, Siddhanti says, no sir, it is true that in Karmakanda, Udgita was taught as a Abhyaroha japa, but here the topic is Udgita Upasana. In Karmakanda, Udgita japa, but here Udgita Upasana. And where there is Upasana, there can be japa, but where there is japa, there need not be Upasana. In Karmakanda, there is no Upasana on the breath as rooted in the truth. In Karmakanda, there is no Upasana on the breath as rooted in the truth, because truth is never the topic there. There Devata is the topic, Loka is the topic, Vitta is the topic, Jaya is the topic, Putra is the topic. The details inside Sansara are the topic. That is why you feel very comfortable in Karmakanda, because they are all talking about the familiar things. In fact, Karmakanda talks only Putra Prapti, Vitta Prapti, Loka Prapti, Sarga Prapti, Kirti Prapti. Who doesn't like all this? Karmakanda. That is why Karmakanda is very attractive. त्रैगुण्य विषया वेदाः निस्त्रैगुण्य भवो निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुना. कितनी बड़ी बात है. He says, hey, all the Vedas are only talking about three gunas. Karmakanda is talking only about the three gunas. Vedanta talks about that which transcends gunas. Therefore, you may have three gunas, but don't keep them as your topic. Itna badi baat hai ji. We all have Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, but don't be obsessed with only increasing this guna and decreasing that guna. As they make the truth the topic, automatically जो गण का जरूरत है वही एनहांस होगा जो गण की गुण की जरूरत. I mean, if you keep the truth as the topic, then all the irrelevant gunas die off on their own. Yes. You start going to school, you will carry only the books necessary for studying them. You don't have to do anything. जब रमण के अंदर आएंगे, when you have the interest to study Brihadaranyaka, you will bring only Brihadaranyaka. Not, there is a magazine called Mad Magazine. You know Mad Magazine? Mad Magazine. Therefore, Bhagavan says, don't unnecessarily get obsessed with, oh, he has got Rajoguna, I have got Sattva-guna, he has got Tamoguna. And he is telling the same thing. You say you have got Sattva-guna, the other person says he has got only Tamoguna. We don't even really know what to spend the time with. What is one's being? Analyze that. Satvaguna grows up now. That is said here. No. Sir, Udgita need not mean japa. Udgita is also taught in Vedanta as an upasana. How do you know? Ya evam veda iti vachanat. Ya evam veda. Veda means the one who does upasana in this manner. Veda means knows. Veda also means knowing can mean knowing as well as upasana. Because we have been seeing Jnana Shabda can be interpreted to mean understanding as well as upasana. Vidya can mean both understanding and upasana. Upasana, Jnanam, Vidya, Vijnanam, all these things can mean both understanding and upasana. Ya evam veda iti vachanat. Udgita prastave, in Udgita, in the topic of, in the context of Udgita, Purakalpa Shravanat Udgita Vidhi Paramiti che na. So, the Purvapakshi is told, by the Siddhanta is telling, hey Purvapakshi, if you took a stand, that here, it is in the previous creation, previous kalpa, that the Devatas decided to do Udgita. We are talking about the previous kalpa. In the previous kalpa, the Devatas wanted to overcome in the previous kalpa, the Devatas wanted to overcome the Asuras. Because there is a reference to the previous kalpa and it can mean the Purva Bhaga, that is the Karma Kanda. Therefore it should be interpreted only as Udgita Japa. If this were your contention, my dear Purvapakshi, you are wrong. Here it cannot be interpreted. Here it cannot be interpreted because this is the context of Brahma Vidya. In Brahma Vidya there is no Abhyaroha Japa. There is only Upasana. Udgita Upasana. Udgita Prasthave Purakalpa Shravanat Udgita Vidhi Paramiti che na. Aprakaranat, underline that. You can pick up that only. Here in these pages there is no context for Abhyaroha Japa. Aprakaranat. You have not been able to find out? Page number 90G. स्वामी जी पेज नंबर 90 तो सुन लिया. कौन सी किताब में? बृहदारण्य को. First I have to say it is in Upanishad. कौन सी उपनिषद? बृहदारण्य को. कौन से अध्याय? 5. And third Brahmana. Aprakaranat means this is no context for japa. Prakarana means context. Aprakaranat means no context. This is no context for japa for devata. This is a context for understanding the truth. This is Upanishad, Brahma Vidya. This is Jnana Prakaranam. In Jnana Prakaranam there is no place for Abhyaroha Japa. In Upanishads there is only room for Brahma Vidya. Udgitasya cha anyatra vihitatvat. Udgita japa has already been prescribed in Karma Kanda. It doesn't have to be prescribed, right? Vedanta. Are you able to follow? You can follow all these. Even the scholars' information you can also follow. You are no less scholar, my God. You have been studying for years and years and years. How can you say you are not a scholar? You are a scholar. So long, who studies Vedanta ji? कितनी सालों से आप लोग पढ़ रहे हैं. It is no ordinary thing, achievement, to be exposed to Vedanta for a long time. It doesn't matter How much one follows or doesn't follow, this very exposure to the Vedanta. It has gone. You may not know really how much has gone in, and it will work on the person. Therefore, here Siddhanta says, Sir, Abhyaroha Japa was already prescribed in Karma Kanda, but here in Vedarnika Upanishad, what is Udgita is used here for Upasana. Udgita Upasana can help you overcome the Asuras. Udgita Japa by itself cannot. Because Udgita Abhyaroha Japa, Udgita Abhyaroha Japa can only bring Devata Darshanam. And even after Devata Darshanam, you can continue to have the Asuras in you. Like Ravana, how many times did he have Darshanam of Shiva? Bhasmasur, did he not have the Darshanam of Shiva? Shiva Darshanam. But did he change? Did not the Kauravas have Bhagavan's darshan? I think that is the living example. All the Kauravas every day used to meet Bhagavan Krishna, his darshanam. Nowadays in Kali Yuga, people, do tapasya for Bhagavan Krishna ji ka darshan. And the people at that time, they had free darshan. But did they change? Darshanam doesn't change, ji. Vichara changes. Mere darshanam doesn't change. Vichara changes. Reasoning and understanding. Repetition doesn't help you. Understanding that your whole life is rooted in the truth. Our goal, our happiness lies in us, not outside us. Because the truth is intimate. Therefore the peace is intimate. Fulfillment is intimate. Ye vichar can change a person. Then the asuras will all subside. Kya kar? Koi kaam hi nahi. It's very, very beautiful. They say asuras become stronger by night. What does it mean? Impulses grow stronger in ignorance. The evil in man becomes stronger and stronger in ignorance. That is what is called in Puranas. These asuras become stronger by night. अंधेरे में उनका बल बढ़ जाता है. असुरों का बल बढ़ जाता है जी अंधेरे में. What is the Tatparya? The evil in man, the wrong in man becomes stronger and stronger in his ignorance. When he is free from ignorance, the asuras, throw light on them, they all just melt away. Therefore, Udgitasya anyatra vihitatvat. The next line. Vidya prakaranatvacha asya. And what we are doing now is Vidya prakaranam. Vidya prakaranam means, Upasana prakaranam. And Upasana is more related to understanding. In Vedanta, the Upasana is meant to prepare you for understanding. Whereas in Karma Kanda, there are upasanas also. There those upasanas are meant to strengthen the efficacy of the karma. That is called Karma Jnana Samunchaya. But in Vedanta, upasana is meant to prepare you for Brahma Vidya generally. Abhyaroha japasya cha anityatvat. Abhyaroha japa is inferior. Anityatvat is non-eternal compared to upasana. Udgita japa is non-eternal compared to Udgita upasana. Are you able to follow? Udgita japa is a repetition of Om, and Udgita upasana is meditating on all your faculties as rooted in the truth. Wow, wow. Udgita upasana is meditating upon your breath as rooted in the truth, which cannot be conquered by asuras. Mukhya Prana, the personal secretary of Bhagwan Ji. Pratinidhi, this is the word we saw in Chandogya. You don't remember? Once upon a time, don't ask me, long ago. Don't ask me how long ago, but long ago, once upon a time, we saw Chandogya Upanishad, in which Mukhya Prana was described as the Pratinidhi of Brahman. It's directly in touch with Bhagavan. Abhyaroha japasya cha anityatvat evam with prayojyatvat. But a person, evam with means an upasaka. Prayojyatvat. Japa is used by an upasaka here. That means in order in Vedanta to repeat Omkara, you have to be a student of truth and a student of upasana. In Vedanta, you are first a student of truth, and therefore you become upasaka, and therefore you become a reciter of japa. Which is first now? You become a Vedanta Vidyarthi. You become a student of truth. And that is why you become interested in upasana. Just to control yourself. And that is why you become a reciter of japa. Therefore, of the three identities, which is first? Therefore, reciter of japa is not. The reciter of japa doesn't become the upasaka, but the upasaka becomes reciter of japa. बहुत sophisticated है जी. The reciter of the japa doesn't become upasaka, but the one who is upasaka becomes a reciter. Evam with prayojyatvat vijnanasya cha, and the upasana nityavat shravanat, it is always described as superior to japa. Meditation is described as superior to japa. Even when Bhagavan says yajnanam japayajñosmi, there it should be understood. Yajnanam japayajñosmi means among all the prayers, repeating the name of God is the best prayer. Bhagavan says in the 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, Yajnanam japayajñosmi, among all kinds of prayers, taking the name, Nama Japa is the best prayer, he says. But there also you do japa along with the merit. You think of Bhagavan as in your own heart. The best way of thinking of God is thinking of Him as in your own heart. Means intimate. You know, this Shastra, sometimes it says truth is pratyak. But to convey that it is pratyak, pratyak means in English intimate. Instead of saying pratyak, it says it is there in your own heart. Instead of saying it is very close to you, it says it is in your own heart. Bas. And therefore, when you meditate upon Bhagavan as present in your own heart, that prepares you for Brahmavidya. It makes it. You know, that idea that he is away takes years and many lives to overcome. That sense of distance between oneself and God takes lives to overcome. Not easy. Lives, my goal is away from me. My happiness has to come to me. My freedom has to come to me. The truth is away, my happiness. I have to find it, I have to find it, I have to find it here. That looking at one's goal as away from oneself is not an ordinary misleader. The real instigator of struggle is that notion, sense of distance. As long as the wave thinks that the water is away, it is looking for it. Can it ever look for it? Can the struggle continue when it really gets convinced that the water is intimate? Bataiye. Can the water go all around? Such a water? Can the wave go all over? Can the ocean feel uncomfortable if it thinks that the water is intimate? Until it discovers that the water is intimate, if the ocean thinks the water is away, then it is uncomfortable. Distance makes you feel uncomfortable. Distance means distance between you and your goal. Makes you feel uncomfortable. Not bouts of discomfort. It is one perennial, unbroken discomfort. It is a silently nagging discomfort. अभी मैं पहुंचा नहीं है. That is why किसी महात्मा को लोग कहते हैं तो पहुंचा हुआ महात्मा है. You know that? पहुंचा हुआ महात्मा means don't trust him. These are all very funny phrases in India, ji. In India, I tell you, the languages in the north, especially all over the country, they are very, very entertaining. They बोले पहुंचा हुआ महात्मा, थोड़ा सावधानी से रहो. Means what ब्रह्मज्ञानी है, थोड़ा सावधान से रहो. ये अच्छी बात है जी. This entertainment that you get in India, you will not get anywhere in the world. I am sure. I have never been out. But I don't think, they are all very serious, morose, But in India, my God, you see 5-6 people sitting together and having a cup of tea. My God, what jokes and what anandam and what. Yes. This language contributes to entertainment. This Hindi has got a certain पहुंचा हुआ महात्मा. तो बड़ा पहुंचा हुआ है. Therefore, please understand, as long as one thinks the goal is away, he struggles. Therefore, upasana is meant to bridge that gap. Vijnanasya cha nityavat shravanat, it is always mentioned as superior to the recitation. Tadhaital-lokajideva iti cha shrutehe. Tadhaitat lokajideva. Upasana conquers you the truth. Upasana brings the lokas of your love. The lokas of your love is the truth, the Brahma Loka. Whereas the mere japa can bring you Devata Darshanam, but not the truth. Are you able to follow? Because I have seen so many Rakshasas, despite Darshanam, they remain the same. Is it not a great lesson to learn? Mere darshanam is not the answer, because he gives the darshanam and goes and disappears. Therefore, instead of wasting time for ages for darshanam, spend time to understand yourself. Understand yourself. Vedanta. Our culture culminates in Vedanta. It begins with Karma Kanda, but evolves to culminate in Vedanta. Our life begins with actions, but it should evolve to culminate in reflection and understanding the truth. As a teenager, I am involved in karma, actions. But even as an old man, 70 plus old man or 80 plus elderly person, I am still interested in karma, actions. I am not interested in reflection. It's a contradiction, it's wrong. One must begin life with karma and culminate in jnanam, relaxation and understanding, rather than just karma karte jao. People begin life with karma and bhoga and then continue with karma and bhoga, and when you become elderly, you grow out of karma and then increase your bhoga. 80-year-old man तो कर्म तो करता नहीं, लेकिन भोग में तो कोई कमी नहीं है. भोग में कोई कमी नहीं है. कर्म तो नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन भोग में तो कुछ कमी नहीं. That is why people are unhappy, because they don't evolve, they don't grow. We don't grow, really. We don't grow. We become fattened but not grow. Yes, I'm telling you, this is the truth. Because after 20 years you look at yourself, there is no change. And change means what? Your lifestyle may change. Instead of taking vodka, you have started whiskey. But that is the change. मैं बहुत बदल गया हूँ जी. मैं बहुत बदल गया हूँ. कौन सी बदल गया? क्या बदल गया? मैं तो पहले वोडका लेता था, आजकल मैं थोड़ा विस्की लेता हूँ. पहले इंडियन का लेता था, आजकल मैं थोड़ा इंपोर्टेड लेता. मैं बहुत बदल गया हूँ. क्या बदल गया है? In fact, change is always changing, moving from action to reflection. That's called change. You move from activity to reflection. I would say you move from struggle to relaxation. You move from struggle to reflection. Even at home. It is only when the people are not doing anything, they think they are missing something, They have to be working in order to feel they are spending time. They are utilizing their time. I don't know. Why do you have to feel uncomfortable relaxing? आराम से बैठने में uncomfortable, why? There is truth in you. There is such a great topic within you. Get occupied with the topic. Your existence is great, Ji. You are not a form. You are not a form. You are indeed the silent being, which is comprehensive of all the three states at once, as itself. Yes. Therefore here Bhagavan says, Udgita Japa need not bring you the worlds of your choice, the truth of your choice. But Udgita Upasana can prepare you for the truth. And this is Brahmajnana Prakaranam. Therefore, hey Purvapakshi, don't think that Udgita that we are talking about is Abhyaro Japa. It is Prana Upasana. It is Brahma Upasana. Clear? This is a great analysis, Ji. You can't move because these are all very, very... people get surprised when I say that I am teaching Brihadaranyaka Bhashya to Delhi people. They say, वो सुनते हैं. एक बार कोई ने स्वामी जी ने पूछा, आपके विद्यार्थी लोग सुनते हैं बृहदारण्यक? मैंने बोला वो पता नहीं वो लोग सुनते हैं या नहीं सुनते हैं, मैं तो बताते जाता हूँ. मैं तो बताते जाता हूँ, वो लोग सुनते हैं नहीं सुनते हैं, वो सब हमारे पास समय कहाँ है ये सब देखने के लिए। मैं तो कहते जाता हूँ। Yes, they get surprised. बृहदारण्यक भाष्यम के लिए do you have students? Once I went to, this Panchkuya Road Ramakrishna Mission ji to buy some books, to get some books or something. And also, it's nice to go once in a while to visit an ashram and to meet the Swami, just have a cup of tea. It's a nice relaxation. And then there was a Swami Buddhananda from Bengal. Then I said, Swami ji, आप क्या लेते हैं? मैंने बोला, this I am taking, Sutra Bhasham I am taking, this Bhasham I am taking. Do you get students? He said, we get students. हमको यहाँ पर एक विद्यार्थी नहीं मिलते हैं। हम भी गीता लेते हैं लेकिन कोई आते नहीं है। देखो जी, विद्यार्थी का भी प्रारब्ध होना चाहिए। Supposing, just as a student must have the prarabdha to find a teacher, and a teacher also should have prarabdha to have students. Yes, I am telling you the truth. It is always, that is why I said, we have said, Amayantu brahmajarina swaha, pramayantu brahmajarina swaha, vimayantu brahmajarina swaha. We say, Hey Bhagavan, send students to me. Every rishi says, हे भगवान हमारे पास विद्यार्थी भेजो, किनको पढ़ाओ. That means even rishis have the same problem. Otherwise, why should they have this avahana? अमायंद ब्रह्मचारिणी, हे भगवान विद्यार्थियों को भेजो भेजो भेजो, क्यों आते नहीं है? देखो, you are studying Brihadaranyaka Bhashyam, please feel happy about it. This exposure is a greater wealth to you than anything else in creation. Yes. Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnavadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.